Temptation Island and White Lotus. Which one do you want to start with first?
Probably.
Well, White Lotus is what everyone's talking about. I still don't know what that show is. Can you explain White Lotus to me?
Okay, so it's basically like, I can't believe you haven't seen it. So there's already been 3 seasons, and I feel like just now, because I've been like an avid White Lotus watcher from the beginning, I feel like it's just now getting its flowers. Like people are actually talking
No
about
pun
it.
intended.
No.
It's getting his
Oh.
lotuses.
I actually did not intend that pun
Really not
at all.
hard.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, so yeah, it's just basically just a show about a bunch of like people just going to like a resort for an entire, and so basically the whole season's like panned out about the entire week. It's a week stay or whatever, and so just a bunch of shit goes down.
A week of drama and like somehow somebody always dies.
Yeah, somehow somebody always dies. They always it's pretty it's like a known thing in the beginning that there's always like this opening where it kind of just starts off like at the end of the week.
How does the song go?
Something like that.
Nice.
It's pretty catchy, but it's just basically just like a bunch of like fucked up people. Honestly, everybody has problems, and like shit's like biting them in the ass, or they're getting mixed up in crazy stuff, and it's just a bunch of drama basically.
I've seen clips here and there, like when I'm watching it, something about snakes, David Goggins, and snakes and monkeys, and
Walton Goggins.
Yeah, and a bunch of crazy stuff. Yeah, between siblings going on. Yeah, this is a crazy show. This is what people are into.
Yeah,
that's what people are into.
Yeah. I'm gonna make you watch an episode. I mean, there's only 2 episodes left of this season, so
I'll see the way I watch, because I really don't like watching shows, and maybe it's just I just can't sit still for that long. Like that's why I love podcasts and stuff, because I can just go back as many times and just like walk out on it, come back, and listen to a different part. But just like something about shows, but and also maybe because like shows and movies, especially nowadays, are just so predictable. Like I bet I can watch one episode and know everything that's going on within that one episode.
I would bet not, because it's just like a lot of information.
Okay.
Yeah, and like that's how I was saying too, is like you kind of have to know, especially with this season, I can tell you that you have to know a few details from like going back to the very first season that I'm gonna have to explain to you, so that's just gonna be fun, because I feel like when we do watch shows, we do tend to watch them like together, but there are some that I'll just like fill you in and you basically watch the whole show. Like there's literally specific times where I'm like telling you about this entire show, I go through it, and then like your brother or somebody will bring it up and be like, did you see that? And you're like, yeah, I saw it when they did this. So I told you that.
Yeah, because I basically
I
have my own imagination. I just imagine what you're telling me.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the fun part.
So technically I did see it in my head.
Always getting to like come to you like with all the information and just tell you about it, because maybe it's like good for me to get it out, because then I get like an outsider opinion too. Like, what do you think about this?
True.
So, but other than White Lotus, I just really been watching Temptation Island.
Lame.
That show is, man, that show's messed up. That show is like, if you sign up for that show and you go on, like you're bound to get broken up.
Yeah, I don't even know why anybody would do that.
You're asking for trouble. Like you can't tell me that it's just a very toxic show and it just ruins relationships. Because I mean, there are some relationships that come out strong, or like this season there was a proposal at the end.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Don't like couples go on there too to like test their relationship and shit?
Yeah.
Like,
so basically, this season, the guy that had a threesome, and then the guy who like immediately cheated on his girlfriend of a year and a half right away, both were like, I can do this show. All I have to do is not cheat. I can do that. But it's like, okay. And usually the types of couples that go on there, like they have like a history of infidelity. So it's
why would they even go on there to begin with?
Because
like it's gonna be the final test.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, well, how'd that work out for you?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's pretty much bullshit, but that's basically what it is. It's like, the final test, or like they're reached a breaking point in the relationship, and it's either they get through this and then. But one thing I do want to add is I did mention that there was a proposal at the end of this with one couple, but honestly, it's because nobody wanted his ass.
What? Yeah. Wait, so did she say no?
No, she said yes.
Oh, good.
She stayed loyal the whole time, but I just personally feel like Lino would have cheated if somebody would have wanted him, but nobody wanted him. Out of all 10 girls, nobody gave him attention. He was more just like friends with a few of them. So, of course, at the end, he was like, oh, I want to marry my girlfriend. So, that's how that happened.
Oh, Lino.
Yeah, Lino's a fruitcake, I think.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
Just the way he dressed at the podcast reunion that they did. It was just like, what are those?
What are those?
I basically, yeah.
Oh, I need to find a picture of that now.
Yeah, I'll
Put it
send you
in.
a picture of his terrible shoes.
Or I might come across on TikTok or something. You know,
Yeah.
is it me or like does TikTok do that? Like I don't know. I mean, I'm not going in the conspiracy route, but like it seems like recently, like I see the same stuff on TikTok over and over, or at least TikTok shows me the same stuff over and over because it knows I'm gonna sit there and watch it again, and then it's like every other swipe is like someone's selling something. Like, is it me or is that like all just new?
No, and you know what it is too? You have to be careful because TikTok has a really good algorithm, but I see what you're saying because the moment I search something out of curiosity, like, oh, I think I saw something on TikTok Shop about this, then I start getting all these videos about it.
Yeah.
So it's like it takes you a little too serious.
When like the selling stuff, like sometimes like you actually get caught into a good video or like good information, but the second I look down and I see that little orange box that they're selling, I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to even believe or trust, or I mean, you shouldn't trust everything you see on TikTok, regardless. But it just like loses all credibility for me because it's like, okay, this is all just because you're trying to sell something.
I basically feel like TikTok has just really become like a money making app.
Yeah,
that's really like, what everybody. It's kind of really easy to make money. Like obviously not for everybody because you still need to get like your follower count and stuff.
Yeah, and you got to grind.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like everybody's begging for galaxies, but like galaxies after like TikTok takes their half, a galaxy's like $5 or like it's like $4 something.
But I guess the one that
and like everyone begs for that.
The ones that piss me off are the ones that are on live saying like, oh, I've never gotten a galaxy before. They'll put their little text box like, send me a galaxy. I've never had one before. It's like, okay, if you stay on all day, you're bound to get like some.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it's just like I feel like it's just a big scam. So that I think is wrong because they're kind of like just taking advantage of it.
Yeah, and then but yeah, honestly, it's, at the end of the day, it's not worth it because like it may be easier to like sell and get that stuff, but like I said, at the end of the day, TikTok's taking 50%.
Yeah.
So it's like better to try like just get yourself up on YouTube. You know, it might take 5+ years like us, but you know,
a lot longer. Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, try to invest more than a brand than just like an easy.
Yeah.
Because then you're gonna grind all that time, and you're really not gonna make as much as you think.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But I don't know. I just figured that like ever since recently, ever since TikTok went away and for a day and came back, it's just like the algorithm just not the same.
Yeah, and speaking of that, is it true? I saw one video about it. Not everybody's talking about it again, like how they did the first time, but I saw I forgot his name. But he made a post saying that TikTok is going to go dark again in April.
What? For
yeah,
why?
Because it was only extended 90 days.
Oh.
And so that's about time.
Damn.
Because this was back in January that this happened. So the 90 days is coming up.
So then what's going to happen?
Exactly, I don't know. But
oh, God, we're back to this again.
Exactly. So I don't know what to think with that. But I'm pretty sure something because first time. So
yeah. I don't know. Can the impractical offenders be saved? What is going on with that? Did you hear about that?
That's actually sad.
Can you explain that?
I just hope nobody.
It's Murr and right now it's Murr and
Joe.
And
right?
Joe.
Yeah, the Joe Gatto. Man, I don't know. Joe's always kind of creeped me out. One thing I noticed about Joe watching Impractical Jokers, I don't know if you catch this drift too, or maybe it's just me just being a girl. Like I feel like he took a lot of like the jokes pretty serious. Like if he needed to be like. He would go to the extreme, I feel. Like, if it was something, he would, like, take his shirt off. Or, like, he would just, like, do... He would
stuff like that. Yeah, and then people were like, oh, I always knew because Murr and Joe would always do all the bits where it was, like, demeaning women and Sal and cute. It's like, you didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, shut up. You didn't know.
I saw a terrible comment about, like, the girl that basically is, like, saying that she got essayed by him. That somebody was like, was this his punishment?
Oh my God. And it just like, I mean, I'm not defending anybody, but it's like at the same time, it's like if something's gonna happen, like what I just don't understand why people don't come out right away. They want to come out 5-10 years later.
That
like
I don't
it just
understand
feels like
either.
It makes the case harder, but then in this world it's easy just to it's easy for anyone also to just falsely accuse somebody and then just ruin their reputation like that, because as soon as the internet just gets one word of it, they're not going to care. Everyone just cares about the headline. They're not going to really care to look into it. And you still see people like that have been proven innocent years later. It's like, oh, didn't he do this? It's like, did you not like know what this person lied about their age? And it was proven of that and things like that. But like I say, I'm not trying to defend either side because we don't know the situation at the end of the day. But it just, I don't know, just weird. I just don't know why they always have to be like that. I mean, just
I kind of read in more about the Joe allegation, and that one seems pretty legit just based on like the proof that she has and has posted. But I don't know. I haven't really heard about the Mer one. I hope that one's false.
Yeah, because then it seems like okay, just like now we're gonna attack Mur. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Whatever.
At the end of the day, they could be pieces of shit.
Whatever
so.
you do, protect Sal. I love Sal.
Yeah. See,
Sal and Q, those are my favorite.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we don't know anybody's real lives. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
or intentions or thoughts.
yeah,
So.
there was a guy, a Boeing engineer, that liked to get by horses. So you never know what people are into.
Oh my god. Oh god, that's so terrible. You know what else is terrible?
What?
The season of The Bachelor.
Oh god.
I still have been seeing the freaking videos, and like now he's out here freaking posting like, oh,
Wait,
The
so
Bachelor.
Is he like with anybody? Did he end up with
Yeah, he ended up with Juliana. At the end, he proposed to her, but there's like this whole big thing because so basically the runner up, Latia, he like led her on like bad, like just up until like so she said that the day before the whole proposal was supposed to happen and he was supposed to make his choice, that she like made jokingly was like, oh my god, I can't wait to be engaged to you tomorrow, and he goes, I know, can't wait, like that was his response.
Oh.
But it's like you knew all along, and he really just like I disliked him kind of from the beginning as like a Bachelor like contestant because I just feel like he was very obvious, like you could tell from the start who he liked and who he didn't like.
Oh right.
So he kind of played like a lot of girls, in my opinion, like the whole time. And even up until like hometowns, I feel like I remember I told you like I know which two he's gonna end up with because it's that obvious, like as a viewer. So
And wasn't there a spoiler like all the way into the beginning?
So yeah, I guess now I can say this. The day that The Bachelor aired and I was gonna watch it, I came across a TikTok video and somebody commented that I saw Juliana wins, by the way. And I saw that and I was like, okay, I'm gonna erase this from my mind. But I came to terms with the fact that when I got to the end, it was Juliana. So how that person knew that, I don't know. Because apparently they're not supposed to be, after they get engaged, like on camera, and before it comes out or whatever, they're not supposed to like be seen together. They're supposed to like not. And basically, they just ask that once you get engaged, like you just have to spend some time apart.
Right.
Which kind of sucks, but I don't know.
Right?
I just think they really could have done a better job, and I hope next season is better. But I don't even know what to think with that because now they're gonna do something like called Bachelor in Paradise. I'm a new member of Bachelor Nation as of like a couple of seasons ago, so I don't know what Paradise is about or how it works. So we'll see. But
Just a giant bachelor orgy party or what?
I mean, yeah. Well, now they're gonna have a girl, and then they're gonna do the guy and the girl. They have two golden bachelorettes, and then they have a bachelorette that they're gonna do in Paradise. So,
wow,
I don't know how that's gonna work.
Very interesting, people. Very interesting.
Yeah.
That's sarcasm.
Oh. I wish you cared about my shows.
I do care about your show. I sit and I listen, and I
after
put my 2 cents in.
Okay, good, because after this, you're gonna say your ass and you're gonna watch White Lotus with me.
Well, back full circle. I was gonna say, White Lotus is the only thing that's like good right now because like everything is flopping. Because like
everything is either you're enjoying it or you're getting pissed
off.
off.
My god, like Snow White.
I won't even watch that probably when it comes out to Disney.
It's literally beat Dragon Ball Evolution as the lowest rated IMDb.
Yes, I
movie.
think it's like a 1.6 out of 10 or something like that.
Can Disney finally learn from their casting?
I mean,
can they finally learn?
Really?
And, you know,
because that was the number one thing. I mean, the list of things that they did wrong with this movie, but the number one thing I would say is that Snow White didn't even look like Snow White. Like, you don't have to like, what's the word? Like what you were just saying.
Inclusive.
Like, inclusive. You don't have to be inclusive every time.
Yeah, when it clearly doesn't fit the narrative.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
And how are you gonna have animated dwarves?
Yes, exactly.
Like, you couldn't find 7 actors.
Yeah, that needed in this role in the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just a big stinky dump.
Yeah, I saw this headline and it was Snow White. Snow White comes into the box office like sleepy or something like that. They did like this like funny pun, and I was like, "That's hilarious." But yeah, basically, my thing is like whenever a movie flops, I'm always curious what the budget is, and the budget for this was $209 million, and it flopped at the box office at like a whopping like $49 million.
Phases
So that's pretty
of
sad.
movies.
And then of course the actress, the actress was supposed to show up like on SNL. She had an SNL and like a bunch of late night shows scheduled, and Disney like redacted them
Oh God.
because they were like
They're already
after the
giving her
flop,
cold
and then
shoulder.
she like did this whole stunt on social media.
Yeah, and it's just everyone's blaming everyone. It seems like.
Yeah.
You know.
That's really what it is, because then you even got like the director's son commenting stuff,
Yeah.
and like
Money laundering at its finest.
yeah, I don't know.
It's like how do companies lose that much money and then just like, okay, we're good, on to the next movie. It's like,
Yeah.
interesting.
I
But
feel sorry. I just want to add. I think the last good live action movie that Disney made was Aladdin.
well,
Would you
see,
say?
in Aladdin too, but it's good now, like looking back. But I think that when it first came out, it had got a lot of hate too.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty good.
I love it. Yeah, I really
never
think
heard
it's
much
good.
about like the Little Mermaid.
Well, and then just the actor from Aladdin, like that was like a real big breakout role, and he thought it was gonna open up like this big avenue for him to make more movies, and he really hadn't had much work since then. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, probably gonna be the same thing for the Snow White gal.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
What else? I mean, we're back in the booth. We wanted to do a little comeback episode. We've been having guests the past.
I know, which has been nice, but it's also good, like to just like talk to you.
Yeah, we got a little caught up with having too many guests, booking too many guests in a row,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah. So hopefully we'll split it up. We'll start
Mhm.
splitting it up a little bit. So we got a guest next week for sure. Already recorded that episode, so that'll be coming out next week, and then we'll be back in the booth again together, and then hopefully we'll have another guest at the end of the month that we're working on. So
We
yeah,
have some,
should be good.
I would say we have some good ones lined up. We have some good potentials. So.
Nice. Yeah, but we appreciate you watching those and liking those. If you haven't, go back and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what else has been going on? Our daughter's getting bigger. She's gonna turn 2.
I know. I cannot even believe. I feel like we just like recorded the episode where I was like, I'm pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, I really can't believe it.
I know. It's so great. It's so
Time
great
just
seeing
really
her.
goes by fast.
It's like bittersweet. It's like
Yeah.
amazing and sad seeing her grow up so fast.
Really, yeah. It's just, especially when, you know what really hurts is like when social media does the 1 year ago.
Oh my gosh.
Those are like, man, I had one
Break my
today
heart.
that I was just like, ugh, what the heck? Time slow down.
Yeah, instantly makes me shed a tear.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I feel like I've been talking a lot.
No, that's good because I'm pretty chill. Well, you've been talking about your shows. You can just talk about my games.
Yes, can we?
Assassin's Creed Shadow, Marvel Rivals. I don't know. All right.
No.
No, Marvel Rivals was good when it first came out, but it's starting to get like a little boring because it's just the same stuff over and over, and they wait so long to release new characters and stuff. So, but if you haven't played Marvel Rivals, it's definitely fun.
Even based on what you've been telling me, like about the algorithm and stuff, like it's kind of pretty.
Yeah, like they actually have a legit algorithm where just like the matchmaking is just terrible. That's the only thing. The game is fun. The heroes are fun. It's obviously Marvel heroes. So all your favorite Avengers and all Guardians and even some you're not familiar with, all the good stuff. So it's really fun. But yeah, just the matchmaking is just bullshit. So I really don't want to say too much about it. Other than that, Assassin's Creed Shadows was supposed to be a big make or break game for Ubisoft, the gaming company, and it seems like a success. Really good success. So I'm excited for that because the Assassin's Creed franchise is huge, and it's been it's so vast from movies to games to books and comics and mangas and little animated shows and things like that. So I love the Assassin's Creed franchise. So the fact that this new game that came out is going to help them stay alive, and that'd be pretty good.
What type of game is Assassin's Creed? Like, there's like first person shooter and like
It's just like an action RPG, really, like an action role playing game.
Okay.
Like where you're just like you just dive into this character and assume the role of the is it protagonist or antagonist? I always get those confused.
Probably pro. I think the An is
the bad one.
The bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, all the people that you're.
And the best part about Assassin's Creed, it's basically like history / fiction. So it's like It's like the best way to describe it is like think of Forrest Gump. How Forrest Gump was about like real history, but he inserted himself into those historic moments.
Yes.
Like
Like he called the cops on Richard
or
Nixon.
Nixon, yeah, and then he was like part of the Black Panther Party and like the
Yes.
whole speech with Vietnam
Yep.
and like little things like that
I think he wasn't he in the White House?
yeah, he was like in the White House pictures. So yeah, it's kind of and then like the football player thing, like yeah. So imagine that, but like when this is story, it's like that these assassins are like basically these hidden figures that were responsible for all the positive historic things that have happened throughout history, and then they're against, of course, the bad guys, the Templars, that are responsible for all the bad things that have happened during history. It's just like two groups that are kind of like in the shadows controlling things. I mean, honestly, you can relate to nowadays. It's kind of like something like the Illuminati in our society. So, is there a real life good faction hidden in the shadows that we don't know about? I hope they'd recruit me.
Oh,
I'm
right?
just kidding. I'm living out my fantasy.
I know, right? It's good though. It's good because I like to see like I like when you're playing the game, and I like to because obviously like I guess I would say that's why I asked like what type of game that is, because I can like say that I've tried to play those types of games before and I just can't like get into it. I'm more of like I enjoy playing Overwatch, and then like this like the shorter games, I guess, like we've played Uno, and what's that one with the turtles? That one was so fun.
You mean Battletoads?
Yeah, Battletoads.
The Battle Turtles.
Battle Turtles. Yeah.
Yeah. We get into games like like games like that with us. What else was you gonna say?
Yeah, no, what I was gonna finish with just that is that like those are my types of games. So like Assassin's Creed, like I wouldn't sit down and play that, but how you've been showing me like the story and stuff like that behind it, and like I get invested on like watching the clips of them like talk to each other, like how it switches from the game to like the story. How it shows you and stuff.
Yes,
that I really enjoy.
And that's what it is. A story is just like really good. Like maybe that's why again too talking or going back to like I don't really get into shows and stuff. It's because like I love getting into the stories of games, like these role playing games, in like where you're actually kind of like vicariously living through these characters, and like the stories are so good because it's like either you watch a show, maybe you have 10 episodes a season, so an hour, let's say max an hour an episode, so you have 100 hours watching this character. That's a little longer than a movie. You have 2.5 to 3 hours invested in this character. A game, you can have hundreds of hours invested into the story of this character. So I don't know, I feel like if more people were into games, they would kind of see that it's much more of like if you're really into like diving deep into stories, that's like the best way to do it. I mean, other than like books I'd say would be another probably better alternative, because you can reread books over. Well, I guess you can rewatch shows over, but you know what I mean. There could be books that are just giant that you dive hours and hours and hours of not history but time into. I don't even know. We're getting to the point where I don't know what I'm saying anymore. See, that's why I like when you talk, because the more I talk, the more I just babble. But I think if you're watching this podcast, if you know us, you already know that by now.
Yeah, you know how we are. But you do like to read, though, right?
I mean, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I know you tried to read some books. I wish I was a reader. I need to be like an audiobook.
Yeah, I think audiobooks are better because who really has time to read anymore? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, usually people will do like a chapter a night or something.
Yeah, I like doing that. That's a good way to do it. Is a chapter a night.
Yeah.
But sometimes the chapters are too damn long, so I have to be like, okay, we'll do a half chapter tonight. Like I don't understand that. Like like one chapter will be like 5 pages, the next chapter 18. It's like, wait, what? It's like I understand you have more story to tell for that scene, but like, come on.
Yeah, see, but then again, I feel like a good book should see, and this is coming from a non-book reader, so the book people can attack me or whatever for it, but I just feel like if a book is set up like that, like how you say like a chapter 5 pages, because I've attempted to read books before and I know exactly what you're talking about. It's just like, I feel like that's not like a good book setup.
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I mean?
true.
Like I feel like it should be just equally spaced out, and I personally love books with pictures in them.
What? Like a picture book? Yeah. You like pop-ups?
No, like
little pop-ups?
Like the Young Bucks book that we
Oh yeah, like that has those
like
little
memories.
sections. Yeah, like autobiographies and stuff like that.
Yes,
Well, my headphones have
basically.
been just falling back throughout the whole podcast. But yeah, I mean I guess like how we're talking about games, that's just like too, because of like there's quick, fast-paced games, linear games, and then there's games that you can dive like hours into, and the same thing with books. I mean, there's some authors like the Game of Thrones author, like he'll have pages he'll have like 2 pages just describing the food on the table.
The Tolkien?
No, that's Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
And The Hobbit.
Oh.
I'm talking about George R.R. Martin.
Oh.
But yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Shows, movies,
Shows,
video
games.
games, books.
Impractical Jokers.
Good talk. Impractical offenders.
Is that gonna be the title of this episode?
Child.
Should we title
Jesus. I don't know. We might need to. It might be it. Temptation offenders. No. Impractical temptation.
I can see it now. Snow White sleeps at the box office.
Oh, that's what it was.
It was something along those lines.
Oh. Interesting.
But man.
What else were we going to touch on? There was something else I was going to touch on before we go.
Can I step in the bathroom real quick?
Oh, well, we're about to go.
Okay. I gotta pee.
Okay. All right, we're there hitting our music, people. Thank you.
Good comeback
yeah,
episode.
good comeback. We're back, and yeah, I've got a guest next week, and then we'll be right back at you. So yeah, appreciate it.
Okay, bye guys.
Secrete.
I love a good tether bite hit.
Make you secrete.
Yeah, you do.
Make you secrete the cream.
I'm America's #1 creamer. I've been dethroned.
Oh my god. Well, what are we talking about? Krispy Kreme.
Have you ever had Krispy Kreme?
No, I don't like Krispy Kreme.
But have you ever had Krispy Kreme?
Yeah, well, yeah. Obviously, if I don't like it,
Was it crispy?
it wasn't crispy. It was like weeks old out of a freezer.
Oh my god. I feel so like out of like it feels different because like I feel like we haven't done a podcast together in a while.
I know. That's true. How do you want to start?
Well, I thought we already started. We have to start casual.
Oh no, that was supposed to be already started.
I thought so.
We're not gonna start with me saying I make you secrete cream. This will be like an ending. We'll throw this at the end.
Okay.
For the special listeners that have stuck around the whole episode. Thank you. Your name is Booty Hole.